everyone, it's Kale from Scud Style, and today I'm going to be doing another ASMR video. This one's going to be soft-spoken instead of whispered, and today I'm going to be going through a book I just bought tonight called The Cities Book by Lonely Planet. And a journey through the best cities in the world. So this book goes through what Lonely Planet, in their very humble opinion, consider to be the top 200 cities in the world. This, of course, does not reflect my opinion of the top 200 cities in the world, but it's a beautiful book with lots of great pictures and almost 1,000 pages. It's pretty hefty. And just randomly here, spends about 4 pages per city with a little introduction, some stats, pictures, things like that. So what I thought I'd do is do a little bit of a read out of some of the countries and then maybe flip randomly through, because they are listed alphabetically, not by rank. So I always like book ASMR, page flipping, tapping, and I kind of have the travel bug right now, so that is the desire to travel, not any new disease or anything like that. I don't know if everyone says the travel bug. So a little disclaimer there. Alright, so let's go on this journey through the best cities in the world. So, the 10 best cities that it lists them. And I should say first that I own this book, and I'll be just going through little pieces of it so as to be fair to Lonely Planet and not give away the whole essence of this book. But it's a beautiful book, and there's really no replacement for having it in your hands, of course. But I want to be fair to the publisher, so I hope they don't mind if I give a little bit of a taste, because I really do like this book, which is why I bought it tonight. I do have a Kindle and enjoy the convenience of having lots of books at my fingertips instead of lugging around a bunch of 1,000-page hardback behemoths, but you do lose out on this the illustration and the weightiness and things like that make print books just still so satisfying. So, best cities according to Lonely Planet 1 through 10. Number 1 is Paris. Number 2, New York City. Number 3, Sydney. Number 4, Barcelona. Number 5, London. Number 6, Rome. Number 7, San Francisco. Number 8, Bangkok. Number 9, Cape Town. And number 10, Istanbul. Not Constantinople. It doesn't actually say that. It says, the heart of this book was set, beating by our travelers, who provided us with a list of 200 cities for inclusion in this book via a survey we ran on lonelyplanet.com, asking travelers and our staff to nominate their favorite cities. So, looks like they put a survey out to come up with these. So, if any of these are your cities, just know that this is how they were chosen. They also say, we don't set too much in store by rating of these cities, but it was interesting to see just how the city standard is set by Paris. There are several other cities in this book that claim the reputation by association. Budapest as the Paris of Eastern Europe, Beirut as the Paris of the Middle East, Buenos Aires as the Paris of the South, and Melbourne as the Paris of the Southern Hemisphere. I guess that is kind of funny. Oh. They nickname themselves or have the nicknames of Paris of other places. I guess it makes sense that Paris would be number 1 if that really is the standard. Another disclaimer I want to put out is that I am not familiar with many of these names or many of these languages that they originally intended to be pronounced in their native way. So please excuse any mispronunciations that may come up during this video. Now again, I don't want to read off the next 190 names in their orders, but I will go through and read a few of them. So, Melbourne is number 11, Hong Kong 12, Prague 14, Buenos Aires 16, Singapore 25, Dublin 28, Miami 32, with Toronto right above it at 31, Madrid 36, Sevilla 44, Perth 47. Seattle, 55. Delhi at 60, and then Moscow at 61. Manila, 69. Auckland, 68. Mumbai, 77. Taipei, 87. Monaco, 102. Washington, D.C., 103. Christchurch, 105. Panama City, 108. Macau, 121. Tel Aviv, 132. Caracas, 148. Belfast, 163. Cardiff, 171. Mecca, 176. How could I skip Minsk, 172. Santo Domingo, 185. Cairo, 194. And Granada, 197. So this is my first time going through this book. I bought it a couple hours ago. And I'm excited to see that I have been to many of these cities. Not many, but some. I've been to New York City, Barcelona, London, San Francisco, Miami, Madrid, Sevilla, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Auckland, Wellington, Washington, D.C., Christchurch, Santo Domingo, and Granada. Wow. It's amazing because there are so many cities out there. Cities that people seem to like so much that I've just never even heard of. So I really can't wait when I have some time to really dig into this book and learn about each and every one. even if just a very brief thing. And I hope to visit many of these someday. So now, I just want to flip randomly through the book and see what city or cities we pop up with. Let's see. I'll read maybe a tiny little tidbit. Again, nothing to really give away the content of the book, but a little taste as to what the book is all about. So, just open to a random page. And great, I'm going to mispronounce the very first one. Hoi, Hoi space A-N. It's a Vietnamese city. And I think the best little section to read is the defining experience. I think that's the most interesting. Ranked 123 on the Lonely Planet Index, but I don't think I'm going to read those anymore because they are opinionated, of course, and arbitrary. Defining experience. Walking through Ho An's pedestrian-friendly town center to choose the silk for a new and astonishingly cheap tailored outfit, then crossing the sparse beauty of the Japanese covered bridge to take in a gallery or two before donning the finished clothes to walk along lantern-lit streets to the monthly Ho-An Legendary Night, Ho-An Full Moon Festival, where hot white roes, which are steamed prawns wrapped in rice paper, are eaten amid the sound and color of traditional song, dance, and games. That sounds nice. Ooh, that's a big creak for the spine. Sorry about that. We don't do that anymore. Next one. Kabul, Afghanistan. Defining experience of Kabul. Brunching on a chicken kebab from a vendor on Cinema Zainab Road while strolling through the park on your way to the Afghan Handicraft Center. Still breaking the spine in, I guess. So I'll just flip. Here we have Belgrade. Defining experience of Belgrade, Serbia and Montenegro. Checking out the Kalemegdan Citadel before wandering along vibrant Nez Mialova, a cafe-lined pedestrianized boulevard, and chatting with a bunch of university types who are likely to invite you to a poetry reading coupled with plenty of pivo, or beer. That sounds nice too. Next stop on our train. Jerusalem, Israel. Defining experience. Sharing coffee and stories with an old man at Damascus Gate. Watching the sunset ignite the dome of the rock from the Mount of Olives. Making a do-it-yourself falafel on Ben Yehuda Street. before beer and live Russian music at the Pargad Theater. Next up, our trip around the world. And we stopped at London, England. Defining experience of London is sunbathing in Hyde Park with champagne and strawberries. Huh, I never really thought associated England, or London specifically, as a sunbathing as their defining experience, but let's go on. Coldplay on the iPod, then walking into Notting Hill for a pint outside the Cow to dissect last night's missed penalty before catching an art horse film at the Electric. I have been to London. I did not sunbathe there, but perhaps I'm missing out. Actually, egg on my face because one of their big pictures is of someone doing exactly that in Hyde Park, so I totally missed out on that during my trip. I'll have to go back. Next stop. Let's see what country this was. San Salvador. And that's in El Salvador. That wasn't clear. The defining experience. Beginning the day with bread and cafecito, or short black coffee, stocking up on food in the Mercado Central, cooking a beans and rice lunch, and snoozing away the siesta, drinking Pilsner and getting down to some cumbia, Colombian dance tunes, and salsa. Oh, now we're talking. I love salsa. I love cumbia as well, but my favorite is bachata. And I used to live in the Dominican Republic, and really fell in love with bachata. But I love all that kind of Latin vibe. So San Salvador sounds nice for me. Next stop, going all the way to whatever this page I opened up was. Tirana. Again, I hope I'm not butchering all of these, but doing my best. It's in Albania. Defining experience is wandering the pleasant tree-lined avenues on a summer evening when everyone's out for their evening stroll and soaking up the charming atmosphere of this friendliest of European capitals. I wonder, as I do this, if mispronounced words are more disruptive to ASMR than loud noises. I sure hope not. Moving on. That one, I almost got no flip. We ended up here at Vienna. Austria, a defining experience is gazing at Schiele's work in the Leopold Museum before lapping up some sun and coffee in the museum's courtyard, then heading to the old Danube for a leisurely swim and refueling at a Heringer wine tavern in Staminsdorf. It's funny how I have so much more difficulty pronouncing the European names than I do the Latin American ones, but I only know English and Spanish, so it doesn't leave much room for pronunciating new and strange, unrelated languages. And I ended up at this, which says it's York, England. Defining experience is marveling at the tennis court-sized stained glass Great East window at York Minster before enduring the claustrophobic climb of 275 steps to the central tower, the heart of the Minster, then following the city walls clockwise to Monk Bar, York's best preserved medieval gate. And looks like we have maps here of all the places. So I can clearly picture where each of them are. When I saw Granada, I wasn't sure if it was the Latin American Granada or the Spanish one. And it was the Spanish one, which is the one I have been to. I've never been to Central or South America. Unless you count Mexico as Central America. I know some people don't really classify it as Central America. It's kind of its own entity. But I've been to Mexico, but no further south than Mexico. And Mexico I've been to is in the northern part of the country. So, I hope that that journey through the best cities in the world was somewhat enjoyable, somewhat relaxing, and it's amazing to think how many great cities there are out there, as well as great small towns or just altogether great places to live, all of which are very different from the place where you grew up, each with its own distinct culture and people and history and vibe. So I'm really excited to actually get to sit down and pour through this book and learn so much, and hopefully learn how to pronounce most or all of them too. So, thanks everyone for listening. I hope you have a enjoyable evening or day or whatever you're listening to this. And for any travelers out there, I hope you enjoy your travels and are able to experience them with an open mind and learn so much from different people and places, and I know I always have. So I wish everyone happy travels and a happy good night.